Semiconductors, tiny chips of silicon, are the invisible engines of our digital world. Though you rarely see them, they're quietly working behind the scenes, making modern life possible. They're in everything: phones, cars, appliances, even your coffee maker. From the moment you wake up to the time you go to bed, semiconductors are powering the devices you rely on every day. These chips act as microscopic brains, controlling the flow of information and powering modern life. Without them, our world would come to a standstill. No internet, no smart devices, no connectivity. At their core, semiconductors can either conduct or block electricity, thanks to their unique properties. This ability to switch on and off is what makes them so essential for computing. By etching billions of transistors onto a chip, engineers create vast networks of switches that process data at lightning speed. Each new generation of chips packs even more power into a smaller space. The more transistors on a chip, the more powerful it becomes, fueling everything from AI to national defense. These advances are pushing the boundaries of what technology can achieve. Control over chip technology is now a global power struggle, shaping economies and security. Nations are investing billions to secure their place in this critical industry. The country that leads in semiconductors drives innovation and holds the keys to the future. It's not just about technology, it's about influence and leadership on the world stage. That's why the US and China are locked in a high-stakes race for chip supremacy. The outcome will shape the balance of power for decades to come. This isn't just about gadgets, it's about who controls the foundation of the 21st century economy, and ultimately, who will shape the future of our connected world. Once, the US dominated the chip industry, designing and building the world's most advanced semiconductors. American innovation set the pace, with Silicon Valley at the heart of a technological revolution that changed the world. Factories buzzed with activity, and the US led in both research and manufacturing, fueling the rise of personal computers and the digital age. But as companies chased lower costs and higher profits, manufacturing gradually shifted overseas, especially to Asia. Globalization and the search for cheaper labor and materials made it more attractive to build chips abroad, and American factories began to close or move. American firms like Apple and Nvidia still design top chips, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in computing. Yet, the actual making, the fabrication of these tiny, powerful devices, now happens elsewhere, far from American soil. Enter TSMC in Taiwan, which perfected chip manufacturing and now produces the vast majority of the world's most advanced chips. Their expertise and scale have made them indispensable to the global tech ecosystem. Today, the US makes only about 12% of global chips, and almost none of the cutting-edge ones. The country that once led the world now finds itself lagging behind in manufacturing capacity. Over 90% of the most advanced chips come from Taiwan, with the rest from South Korea. This means the world's digital infrastructure depends on just a handful of companies in a few locations. America, the birthplace of the microchip, now relies on a small island for its most vital technology. The shift has left the US vulnerable in ways few could have imagined decades ago. This concentration of manufacturing power has become a strategic vulnerability. Any disruption, natural disaster, political conflict or trade war could threaten the global supply of chips. The US is waking up to the risks of depending on foreign fabs for its economic and national security. Policymakers and industry leaders are now scrambling to rebuild domestic manufacturing and secure the supply chain. The chip race is no longer just about business, it's about survival. The future of technology, and perhaps even global stability, may depend on who controls the next generation of semiconductors. The global chip supply chain ran smoothly until COVID-19 hit. Lockdowns shut down factories, while demand for electronics soared as people stayed home. Industries from cars to consumer tech were suddenly starved for chips. Automakers, caught off guard, cancelled orders, then couldn't get chips when demand rebounded. Assembly lines stalled, costing billions and exposing the fragility of just-in-time supply chains. The world saw how a disruption in one region could cripple entire industries. For the US, the pandemic revealed a dangerous over-reliance on chips from Taiwan. With rising tensions in Asia, leaders realized a single supply shock could threaten the entire economy and national security. In response, the US launched the CHIPS and Science Act, a $52 billion push to rebuild domestic chip manufacturing. The goal: bring advanced chip making back to American soil and reduce dependence on foreign suppliers. The act offers billions in grants and tax credits to companies building or expanding fabs in the US. It's a dramatic shift, treating semiconductors as critical infrastructure, not just another product. The aim is to create a self-sustaining ecosystem of fabs, suppliers, and skilled workers. The message is clear: America's economic and security future depends on controlling its own chip supply. The CHIPS Act marks a new era of industrial policy, one where technology and national security are inseparable. Arizona has become ground zero for America's chip comeback. Intel is investing tens of billions to expand its Chandler campus, aiming to reclaim manufacturing leadership. TSMC, the world's top chip maker, is building massive new fabs in Phoenix, its first advanced facilities in the US. These projects are transforming Arizona into a high-tech hub, creating thousands of jobs and attracting global talent. The federal government has designated the region a national workforce hub, betting on a new knowledge-based economy. Arizona's Silicon Desert is now the testing ground for America's semiconductor revival. The stakes, nothing less than the future of US technology leadership. Building fabs is only half the battle. Staffing them is the real challenge. The US faces a severe shortage of engineers and technicians with the skills to run advanced chip plants. Years of offshoring weakened the talent pipeline. Now, tens of thousands of skilled workers are needed. Universities and community colleges are racing to create new programs and training courses. The goal: inspire a new generation to pursue STEM careers and rebuild America's high-tech workforce. But training takes time, and the industry needs talent now. Immigration reform is back in the spotlight, as experts argue the US must attract top engineers from around the world. America's tech dominance was built on immigrant talent. Can it do it again? The race for chips is also a race for brains. Without the right people, even the best factories will stand idle. China, the world's biggest chip consumer, is determined to end its reliance on foreign technology. The government is pouring tens of billions into domestic chip companies, aiming for self-sufficiency. Despite massive investment, China still lags behind in advanced chip making, years behind TSMC and Samsung. Building a world-class chip industry takes more than money. It needs expertise, suppliers, and cutting-edge tools. Still, China is playing the long game, investing in R&D and aggressively recruiting global talent. For Beijing, chip independence is a matter of national security and global power. Washington is watching closely, worried that a self-sufficient China would be a formidable rival. The chip race is now a central front in the US-China rivalry. To slow China's chip ambitions, the US has imposed sweeping export controls. The US and allies dominate the market for the advanced equipment and software needed to make cutting-edge chips. New rules ban sales of key manufacturing tools and high-end AI chips to Chinese firms. The goal: block China from building advanced fabs, even as it spends billions trying. These controls have hit Chinese tech giants hard, but also fueled Beijing's determination to break free from foreign tech. It's a risky strategy, balancing national security with global economic ties. The chip industry has become a geopolitical battlefield, with each side racing to outmaneuver the other. The outcome will shape the balance of power for decades. The future of chips is being shaped by artificial intelligence, which is transforming the very foundation of how computers process information. AI demands unprecedented computing power, driving a shift from traditional CPUs to specialized GPUs and even more advanced processors designed just for machine learning. Nvidia, once a graphics company, now leads the AI chip revolution, fueling everything from chatbots to self-driving cars, and powering breakthroughs in robotics and automation. Moore's law, the old rule of doubling chip power, has slowed, but innovation hasn't. Engineers are finding new ways to push performance beyond what was once thought possible. Companies are stacking and connecting smaller chiplets, creating custom silicon for specific tasks, making chips more efficient and adaptable than ever before. The nation that leads in AI chip design and manufacturing will dominate the next era of technology, influencing everything from global trade to national security. This isn't just about faster gadgets. It's about breakthroughs in medicine, defense, and science, where AI chips are enabling discoveries and solutions never before possible. Private companies are now at the forefront, raising new questions about security, control, and who will ultimately benefit from these powerful technologies. The global chip race is more intense than ever, with countries and corporations competing for dominance and innovation. Whoever wins the AI chip war will shape the future, setting the pace for technological progress and global influence. The world's next leap forward depends on these tiny, powerful brains, microchips that are redefining what's possible for generations to come.